Ladies and, so to speak, gentlemen, it was suggested to my wife that I give a public lecture here for charity. Well, if I must, I must. It's all the same to me. I am not a professor, and I've never finished a university. And yet, nevertheless, over the past 30 years, I've been ruining my health by constant, unceasing examination of matters of strictly scientific nature. I am a man of intellectual curiosity, and, if you can imagine, at times I write essays on scientific matters. Well, not exactly scientific, but, if you'll pardon me, approximately scientific. Just the other day, I finished a long article entitled On the Harmfulness of Certain Insects. My daughters liked it immensely, especially the part about bedbugs, but I just read it over and tore it up. What difference does it make whether such things are written? You still have to have insect powder. We have bedbugs even in our grand piano. For the subject of my lecture today, I've taken, so to speak, the harm done to mankind by the use of tobacco. I myself smoke, but my wife told me to lecture on the harmfulness of tobacco, and so what is to be done? Tobacco it is. It's all the same to me, but, kind ladies and gentlemen, I urge you to take my lecture with all due seriousness, or something awful may happen. If any of you are afraid of a dry, scientific lecture, cannot stomach that sort of thing, you needn't listen. You may leave. Are there any doctors present? If so, I insist that you listen very carefully, for my lecture will contain much useful information, since tobacco, besides being harmful, contains certain medical properties. For example, if you take a fly and put him in a snuff box, he will die, probably from nervous exhaustion. Tobacco, strictly speaking, is a plant. Yes, I know. When I lecture, I blink my right eye. Take no notice. It's simple nervousness. I am a very nervous man, generally speaking. I started blinking years ago, in 1889, to be precise, on September the 13th, the very day my wife gave birth, so to speak, to our fourth daughter, Varvara. All my daughters were born on the 13th, but time at our disposal is strictly limited. I see I have digressed from the subject. I must tell you, by the way, that my wife runs a boarding school. Well, not exactly a boarding school, but something in the nature of one. Just between us, my wife likes to complain about hard times, but she has put away a little nest egg, some 40 or 50,000 rubles. As for me, I haven't a kopeck to my name, not a penny. And, well, what's the use of dwelling on that? At her school, it is my lot to look after the housekeeping. I buy supplies, keep an eye on the servants, keep the books, stitch together the exercise books, exterminate bedbugs, take my wife's little dog for walks, catch mice. Last night, it fell to me to get the cook flour and butter for today's breakfast. Well, to make a long story short, today, when the pancakes were ready, my wife came to the kitchen and said that 3 of the students would not be eating pancakes, as they had swollen glands. So it seems we had a few too many pancakes. What to do with them? First, my wife ordered them stored away, but then she thought a while, and she said, "You eat those pancakes, you scarecrow." When she's out of humour, that's what she calls me. Scarecrow, or viper, or devil. What kind of devil am I? She's always in a bad mood. I didn't eat those pancakes. I wolfed them down. I am always hungry. Why, yesterday, she gave me no dinner. She says, "What's the use feeding you, you scarecrow?" However, we've digressed from my subject. Let us continue. But some of you, I'm sure, would rather hear a romance or a symphony, some aria. We shall not shrink in the heart of battle, forward be strong. I've forgot where that comes from. Oh, by the way, I should tell you that at my wife's school, apart from looking after the housekeeping, my duties include teaching mathematics, physics, chemistry, geography, history, vocal exercises, literature, and so forth. For dancing, singing, and drawing, my wife charges extra, although the singing and dancing master is yours truly. Our school is located at Dog Alley, number 13. I suppose that's why my life has been so unlucky. Living in house number 13. All my daughters were born on the 13th, I think I told you, and our house has 13 windows, and in short, what's the use? Appointments with my wife may be made for any hour, and the school's prospectus may be had for 30 kopecks from the porter. Here you see, I've brought a few with me. 30 kopecks a copy. Would anyone care for one? No one? Well, make it 20 kopecks. What a shame. Yes, house number 13. I am a failure. I've grown old and stupid. Here I am, lecturing, and to all appearances enjoying myself. But I tell you, I have such an urge to scream at the top of my lungs, to run away to the ends of the earth. There is no one to talk to. I want to weep. What about your daughters, you say? Huh? Well, what about them? I try to talk to them, and they only laugh. My wife has 7 daughters. 7. No, sorry, it's only 6. No way. It is 7. Anna, the eldest, is 27. The youngest is 17. Ladies and gentlemen, I am miserable. I have become a fool, a nonentity. But then, all in all, you see before you the happiest of fathers. Why shouldn't I be? And who am I to say that I am not? Oh, if you only knew. I have lived with my wife for 33 years, and I can say they are the best years of my life. Well, not the best, but approximately the best. They have passed, as it were, in a thrice, and, well, to hell with them. I don't think my wife has arrived yet. She is not here. So, I can say what I like. I'm afraid. I am terribly afraid when she looks at me. Well, I was talking about our daughters. They don't get married, probably because they're so shy, and also because men can never get near them. My wife doesn't give parties. She never invites anyone to dinner. She's a stingy, shrewish, ill-tempered old biddy, and that's why no one comes to see us, but I can tell you confidently. On holidays, my daughters can be seen at the home of their aunt, Natalia, the one who has rheumatism and always wears a yellow dress covered with black spots that look like cockroaches. There you can eat. And if my wife happens not to be looking, then you'll see me. Oh, you'll see I can get drunk on just one glass, and I feel so happy and at the same time so sad. It's unimaginable. I think of my youth, and then somehow I long to run away, to clear out. Oh, if you only knew how I long to do it. To run away, to be free of everything, to run away without ever looking back. Where? Anywhere. So long as it is away from that vile, mean, cheap life that has made me into a fool, a miserable idiot. To run away from that stupid, petty, hot-headed, spiteful, nasty old miser, my wife, who has given me 33 years of torment. To run away from the music, the kitchen, my wife's bookkeeping ledgers, all those mundane, trivial affairs. To run away and then stop somewhere far, far away on a hill and stand there like a tree, a pole, a scarecrow, under the great sky and the still, bright moon and to forget, simply forget. Oh, how I long to forget. How I long to tear off this tailcoat that I wore 33 years ago at my wedding and that I still wear for lectures for charity. Take that and that. I am a poor, shabby, tattered wretch, like the back of this waistcoat. I ask for nothing. I'm better than that. I was young once. I went to the university. I had dreams. I thought of myself as a man. But now I want nothing. Nothing but peace. Peace. She is here. My wife is there in the wings waiting for me. I see our time is up. If she asks you, please, I beg you, tell her that her scarecrow husband, the lecturer, me, behaved with dignity. Oh, she is looking at me. Given that tobacco contains a terrible poison, which I have had the pleasure of describing to you, smoking should at all costs be avoided. And permit me to add my hopes that these observations on the harmfulness of tobacco will have been of some profit to you. And so I conclude, Dixi e animam levavi. I have spoken and relieved my soul.